Hi everybody, it's Sandra here from Creating Spain. You can see here I have my Brother Scan and Cut mat. It is looking a little bit battered and bruised these days. I've used it for 2 months. Now the stickiness on it is not brilliant, and I usually end up finding that I have to tape things down on it because Brother apparently doesn't want us resticking our mats. Perhaps they should make them a little better then. Anyway, I did work out a file for the SDX mats when I got it, but I was trying to find a way that would make it a little easier to apply than the version that I did, and I have managed to do that. The mat measurements, by the way, it is 13 5/8 wide. That is such a strange measurement. Or, if you like me to use metric, 34.7 centimetres. I've managed to make it so that, oh the irony, you can actually cut it out on your normal SDX mat with a 12-inch piece of vinyl. I even had to cut my vinyl down because I buy mine on a roll and it was wider than that. So the file is going to look like this. I just need to take the vinyl and weed it if I can find the edge of the paper. Now when you're weeding this, I suggest, like I'm doing at the moment, that you keep it on the mat because it's a lot easier if your paper is being gripped and is nice and flat. Just make sure that one piece stays down where it's supposed to be. Yeah, come on, stay put. Stop lifting up. There we go. Okay. There we go. So that is what the file looks like. Okay. So what you want to do when you've got this cut out is you take your transfer paper, your film, whatever it is that you're using, and lay it over the top so that you can pick up all your pieces. When you have it all picked up, thankfully that hasn't gone through because that would be a pain if it had done that. I can keep this to use another time because I'm not in need of it at the moment. Okay, so what you do when you have your transfer film is you pick it up and you place it over the backing again, but you leave these two longer pieces, these two pieces here, you let those actually go over the edge of your backing paper. And the reason you want to pick it up like that is so that you can move it and you can put it in the right place. If you've got all the back of this sticky, imagine this is your transfer film and all that is sticky, it's a real pain in the neck if you happen to put it down slightly wrong and then you have to try and move it. And generally when you do that you end up having to completely redo it because you can't pick things off and put them back in the right place. So you then have your piece of plastic cut to size, and these pieces here you put at the very top edge of your sheet of plastic. That's all they are there for. The top edge of that goes to the top edge of your plastic. Mark the center of your piece of plastic. I just put in a pen line just there and match that up with the center, and then match those two. Oops, those two go back so that those are at the very edge of your plastic here, and you stick it all down so you end up with these pieces stuck down. You can, when you've got that on, you can immediately remove these two pieces. They're not needed, they are just guides. This piece is also a guide because this line here indicates where your cutting starts. So this is the inside edge of your mat. If I get my other mat a second, I can show you what I mean. This edge here is this here. So as long as you have that lined up with the center, And these two long pieces lining up with the very edge of your mat here on the inside edge of it, everything is going to be in place properly, and you can use that as a guide to put your marks down. Now, to do your marking up, if you want to bother with it, and you might not decide to bother, what I've done is I've created this. Now, this happens to be a 12-inch square stencil paper or plastic. I actually purchased stencil plastic some time ago, and it's very handy because it happens to be 12 inches square, and I needed a 12-inch square. So that was really good. So all I did then was I lined that edge up with this and the centre, and there's 2 centimetres, pretty much 2 centimetres either side, so you can line it up, and then I just drew around my template here. You notice it has lots of holes in it, and these are so you can mark the inches on your mat. They may not be absolutely 100% totally accurate, but they're near enough. They really don't need to be any more accurate than that. And of course you keep this to use again. And every time you want to make a new mat, you can use it and you can mark things up, and you just get a ruler, join the dots, and there you are. And I used a thicker pen to denote the centre markings. So that's how I've made the DX mat. Now this is the markings for the 24-inch mat. Now the 24-inch mat does not have markings at the bottom, so this saves you the aggravation of having to do it at both ends. It never gets to read, if it's 24 inches, it never gets to read any registration marks on the base. But you can tell the machine it's a 12-inch mat and it still works. It doesn't make any difference. It's accepted whether you tell it it's a 12-inch or a 24. So if you're actually planning on using it as a 24-inch mat, fair enough, give yourself a really, really big piece of plastic. If you're not, you can either cut it down to the normal 12-inch size, or you can leave it a bit longer. So for example, if I had an A3 piece of paper, I could put it on here and probably take the whole lot. I could probably cut a whole A3 size. I don't often use an A3 size, so I haven't bothered to mark the bottom of it. But if you wanted to, you could just continue these lines and do another grid. But the other thing is that because you're telling it it's a 24-inch mat, but you might only be using 12 inches of it, there is absolutely nothing to stop you repeating those marks at this end and having a double-edged mat, one that you can put in either way, which as far as I'm concerned is pretty good. Now, to make it sticky, all you have to do is to do what you normally do to re-stick your mats, because of course I wouldn't dream of recommending this if you have a brand new machine. And you simply mask it off and put whatever adhesive you normally put onto it. I think if you're in the UK, they actually tell you you can use a certain UK adhesive, but I can't remember what it is. But for some reason the American market says, oh no, you shouldn't re-stick your mats. Yeah, so basically you save yourself a heck of a lot of money. And I did measure the thickness of this plastic against the actual mat, and it is pretty much the same. If anything, it is very slightly heavier, but not enough to make any difference. And what is it? It's a for sale sign. And I can actually make 2 of these mats for 1 for sale sign, which cost me all of about €2. I think I know which mat price I prefer. So there we go. I've told you how you can do it. Of course, this is not something that they are going to want you to do, and I wouldn't recommend it on a brand new machine. But if your machine is out of warranty, well, the choice is yours. Thanks for watching. Take care now. Bye bye.